Hey, Brandon.
Yo, not yet. All right, let's do this.
So you live in Japan, right?
I think so. I'm somewhere.
Sometimes it's hard to tell. Yeah, so do you speak Japanese?
I try.
You're an American, but you live in Japan.
Mm.
Do you ever get people who you're like, I think they don't want me to speak Japanese?
Or even if you do speak it, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I was just trying to communicate.
Oh, that thing fell out when I was reading earlier. I was like, what is it?
Oh, I thought it fell out of my pocket.
No,
I was like,
it
why
fell
is
out
that
of the
in
manga?
A barcode fell out.
I read so much manga in public. I'm surprised no one's even said like, "Oh, hey, I like that," or anything. They never even say like. I think I heard one time some girls. I was reading what is it? Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
And then some girls next to me, I think, were like mumbling to themselves, like, "Oh, I like Full Metal Alchemist." It's like,
do you think he likes Edward or Al?
It's like you could at least talk to me too, but no.
Nah, you just sparked the conversation. That's all. They just say, "Oh, I haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist in a while."
So, let's see. Learning Japanese.
So what do you want to say about learning Japanese, home dog?
It's both hard and easy.
Yes.
Honestly, the hardest part is finding people who want to talk with you. Oh, actually, I have a funny story about that.
Oh?
It was... Oh, they have a new guy. I don't know if these kombinis just get rid of people and bring in new ones.
Or people are always just like, fuck this job. And
Yeah.
leave.
Because, like, a bunch of them quit that 7-Eleven one. And they have a bunch of new ones. And the guy yesterday, he was probably, like, early 20s. And he was new at the job. So I wasn't really mad at him. But he did the whole bag thing to me. He was like, you need a bag? I'm like, yeah, give me a bag. He's like, do you need a bag?
But do you need a
I'm
bag?
I'm like,
I know you need a bag, but
I'm
do
like,
you need one?
Yeah, give me a bag. He's like, okay, so no bag? I'm like, and then at this point, I'm like getting kind of upset. I'm like, yeah, give me a bag. He's like, 5 cents, okay? I'm like, yeah, 5 cents. He's like, 3 cents or 5 cents? I'm like, give me a fucking 5-cent bag.
Dude, man, you gotta save that 5 cent, man.
And then it kept going, and then like the girl that was training him like went over to get something for me, like the hot foods.
Oh.
And she came back, and
What did
he
you
was.
get?
I don't remember.
Yeah, come on, man. You gotta get the
It was
hash
probably
brown.
a chicken or something. But she came back, and like he was still doing it. I just looked at her like, "What is going on?"
What is he doing?
And then eventually, I did get a bag, and I think he was like, "You want everything in the bag?" I'm like, yes, just do your damn job. So
everything in the bag.
So that's a difficulty with speaking Japanese. And then he kept, like, at the end of the transaction, he kept trying to add English. He was like, thank you. I'm like, no, you failed all of this. You don't get to say thank you to me.
Thank you.
So that was kind of funny.
But I did, some guy, it's not just Japan, because, like, I was on some guy's blog, and he was like, he was saying something like he was in Germany or one of those European countries, and he was like, yeah, the hardest part about speaking German is everyone wants to speak English with you.
Ah, okay.
So we are blessed and cursed at the same time.
But
the
here's
gift of
the only difference
the
with
most
that.
dominant fucking language on earth. Youngest fucking country, but we're the strongest. Ain't that some shit? That's like kind of little brother that's bigger than you. It's like, motherfucker.
That must suck for Europeans to go, we had this tradition, though. They didn't have to deal with our bullshit. But, but the only difference with that is Germans can actually speak English. Japanese can't. Or at least for the most part. I remember our friend from Kansai Gaida, he was German. The first week, his English was a bit funny, and then he's like, all right, I just speak it perfectly now.
Yeah.
We're like, wow,
I got it.
that was really good.
I just had to hear that accent a few times, and here we go.
But there's always the question I see, like, do you need Japanese to, I guess, travel around Japan or live in Japan?
Oh.
I would say traveling, you're going to want it if you do anything fun. If you just stick to Tokyo, you don't need it at all.
Yeah.
But they always tell us for our job, which is a weird thing to tell someone who lives in your country. It's so fucked up. They always say, like, oh, you don't... They always advertise, like, oh, you don't need to know any Japanese to work here.
I better not even see you speaking Japanese.
Sensei, shini so. I don't know. It seems fine to me. But, so they always tell us this. And then, there's one dad who's, like, really aggressive with me with Japanese.
Well, that's your job?
Yeah. One of the dads of one of my new students, like, at this point, I give up trying to speak to them in Japanese. I just go, your daughter, good, all right, goodbye.
Yeah, all right.
I used to try and explain.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm going to be, now it's like, whatever.
We did English, all right. The money was transferred to the accounts, you are good. But with this guy, so I just said to him, hello, and he goes, konnichiwa. I'm like,
oh, damn.
I'm like, going to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Oh, snap. That's funny.
I'm like, and he I don't know. He just looks weird. But the mom is really nice. It's so weird. You rarely get two cool parents. It's usually the mom's either a bitch and the dad's like cool, or it's the mom's like just nice and friendly and the dad's like konnichiwa.
I don't know. His stalker was pretty. She was pretty.
Oh, I know. Satoko?
If only she showed her face, he'd be like, oh, okay. But, you know.
Oh, by the way, we're talking about Gantz. I love when Gantz says homo for his name. He's like, homo?
They were like, ooh.
Yeah, the Yankee guys.
Guys, no!
It's such a good story. See, if I didn't know Japanese, I couldn't read this easy-ass manga. Which, okay... We always complain, there's all these ugly Japanese women on YouTube saying, don't read manga. Mm-hmm. Actually, reading manga is the best way to learn Japanese, I think.
It got everything. It got
pictures and words. And, like...
Interesting. Something keeps your attention.
Yeah. And it actually teaches you, like, words you might not always use, but sometimes you'll hear.
Or they'll even put it in context where it's like, oh, so this is how someone might even say this, you know?
Right, yeah. Or if you just see the word in a book, in a textbook, you're like... Because that was a big problem with Genki. Some of the times I'm like, I don't know how to use this. So, to be honest, I think reading manga is the best way to learn Japanese.
So there's people online that say, I just read manga.
Yeah. Because anime is too fast. You can't keep up with it.
You gotta do that like 20 times over. Like I gotta stop and rewind.
Even after 20 times, sometimes you're like, I don't know what he said.
There is a cool site that, like, some person, he took the anime.
Okay.
And he put the English subtitles.
Okay.
And the Japanese subtitles. And the Romanji. Okay. Like at the same time. So it's like at the top, bottom. There, so,
okay.
So you don't even have to, like, you know, with Netflix you still have to switch it over.
Oh, okay. But this you can
just like, it's like boom.
It.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they make those bilingual mangas too, but I don't think that would help.
I never messed with those.
It's where it's in No, it's in English, but I think the Japanese is on the side. Oh. But is it a manga that your interest is always just like some random ass manga that you're like? The only one I've ever seen was Ghost in the Shell.
Oh.
But that's probably way too difficult to read in Japanese anyway.
I was about to say, even Japanese people are like, what the fuck?
Even in English, it's probably like, well, okay. Oh, I know, she's just so hot. This is going to be me talking for half an hour and Brandon looking at anime tits. We got Gantz and we got Dorohedoro. Both of them very well drawn. So did you study Japanese before Kansai Gaidai?
A little bit in college, but you got that college class, which is just god awful shit.
Which, yeah.
That's where I first learned don't take any lessons in a school setting.
Oh, okay. We had one good teacher, and then she was like, I'm leaving. And then we had one dog shit teacher who I think was racist.
Was the guy or a girl?
They're both women. And
what would she do?
She made us do these dumbass blogs because she was like, Japanese people write blogs. And I'm like, okay. And so we had to write these blogs, and she never gave anyone a 10 out of 10. And she was every time like, well, you'll never sound Japanese to me, so.
Oh, goddamn.
And then I remember one time she taught us like the warao, like the www thing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'll be Japanese. So I typed up something. I was like, www. And then she's like, 0. I'm like, but you wanted us to sound Japanese. And she's like, this was highly inappropriate.
What the hell?
What? So
how many times did you have this class a week? Like once?
3?
Oh, damn.
I think it was a month, or maybe twice. I don't remember. But it's this awful teacher's fault. She taught the lessons like too slow. Like, so when I got to Kansai Gaida, I was 2 chapters behind, and it was the 2 hardest chapters in the book. So I voluntarily moved my level down and had the most bullshit easy lesson that I already knew for like half a year. I was so pissed. I even talked to the teacher, and the teacher's like, I think you're fine. I'm like, but I don't understand any of this. She's like, all right, you can go down. So
mine was the opposite. They started me a little too low.
Okay.
But the girl in the first class, she was hot. I was like, I kind of want to stay in this class. And I was like, but I gotta go. My studies!
Kansai Gaida?
I was like, I should have just stayed in that first class.
At Kansai Gaida?
Yeah.
Who was the hot girl?
This was like this. She was like Egyptian or some shit. Selma. She was hot as fuck.
Really?
I think I Facebook stalked her in the past. I think she got knocked up. I was like, yeah, I ain't surprised. I would have knocked that bitch up too. I don't even care. She's like, do you have a job or anything? Like, nah, but enjoy.
You know who's good at learning Japanese?
Who?
Koreans. Korean women, not men.
Shit.
I remember
that tune, Laura Croft.
That part was so good.
Getting fucked.
Okay, back to Gantz. So they're in the room, and then he goes. What does he do? He goes into the hallway, and then she follows him in.
Well, first we gotta back it up.
No.
Now we gotta back up just a little bit. They all got transported back into the room.
Yeah.
And Kishimoto said they all got there. And oh yeah, Kei, he went to Kishimoto. He's like, are you okay? Because you don't live with me no more.
Yeah.
And Kato was like, you all were living together? And she was like, oh no, I just did it because I had nowhere to go. I wanted to find you.
Yeah.
Right in front of Kei's face. Kei was like,
he was like,
that bitch.
And
so then he went in the back and he was I'd be pissed too. I'm like, this fucking bitch.
Yeah, and then that was pretty awful. And then
I wanted to, no.
What was his name? Kato?
Yeah.
He was just like, I don't know if I'm asexual. Like, he's like,
I just want to get back to my little brother. My little bro waiting for me.
It's just like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just kind of
I'm just trying to get back to Mokuba, that's all I'm just saying, man. It's just me and Mocha against our evil step parents.
Yeah. And then so he goes to the hallway. He's like, and then the Tomb Raider girl comes, and then he's like, "Can I fuck you?" And she's like, "How dare you?" Okay. And then what happens?
People just be up front.
And then Kay comes around the corner, and she's like, "Oh my!" I didn't know you had game.
Nah, I kind of want. She was like, nah, I kind of want to fuck him.
Yeah, with this older lady.
Yeah. Oh.
And then I love. She goes back to the room, and they're like, "Why did you scream?" And she's like, "I saw K. It surprised me." Anywho, back to Japanese. We could probably, after I finish Gantz, we'll just do a whole episode on Gantz.
Alright, we can do that.
Okay, I remember when we first started learning Japanese. You know, there's like hiragana, katakana, kanji. We had a hiragana test, and I couldn't remember how to write na, so I just drew 3 squiggles, and it was correct. So I did so bad at the first half of the first year of or semester of Japanese, and then I was like, gonna do this, and then I got really good.
Fucking do this shit.
And my study method is just write in a notebook, konnichiwa, hello, like 20 times, over and over and over again. Even for kanji, because hiragana is kind of worthless.
Yeah,
but if you write the kanji over and over again, you're like, okay, I kind of got this.
Just repetition, baby. That's all you do. You got in that repetition.
Yeah. How about you? Any study methods you prefer other than manga and porn?
Those are the biggest too. Manga, anime, porn.
Movies, not so much.
I did. I've been like mentally compiling like a study method for like the ultimate like how would I do it if I can start all the way over and cut off all the bullshit.
You're talking about girls, right?
So the first thing I said was like, okay, hiragana, katakana, will be first, and don't romance that shit. Learn hiragana 1 week, learn hiragana second week.
Katakana.
Yeah. Hiragana.
Read hiragana third week. Right, hiragana fourth week. After a year, you're good to go.
you hiragana up.
2. Ha.
Well, yeah, because like, in college, they drag shit out unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done this. Yeah, it's gonna be tough at first, but you can do that shit in a week
if you have the right mindset. And that's so many people in Japanese class in college.
Yeah,
were like, I'm just a nerd. I don't really have this kind of work ethic.
I just wanted to learn read anime, but not I have to work to do it. Nah.
There was one guy who came in and we had to do the introduction. He was like, yeah, I just want to watch anime with no subtitles on. And everyone's like, what the hell is happening?
Shit. And so hiragana, katakana, 2 weeks. Of course, you go practice with it more, but Then, with kanji, every kanji means something.
Yeah.
And so there's a book called Remembering the Kanji.
Yeah.
And he teaches all those meanings. But the book is stale. What I found was it was a website.
Yeah.
It combined the Remember the Kanji.
Okay.
With the, have you heard of the SRS software thing? Where you go online, you put the stuff in, you repeat it, and then a certain number of days, it will show you again before you forget.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it combined one more thing called Kanji Kobe? Yeah. So it was basically that was like with each kanji, it gives you a story. So in your head you go, okay.
Like the snake eats the mice in the tree or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now here's the thing: to do that it's a program.
Yeah.
That whole program takes 3 months. I did it.
How much kanji do you learn?
2,000 something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it takes 3 months. But you got to do it every day.
Did it work?
Yeah, like.
Oh, okay.
So basically, like, because here's the difference between English and kanji is you can have a Japanese person read everything. You'd be like, so you understand? They'd be like, no.
Oh, okay.
But if you know the kanji, you can go, okay, I know what they're saying.
Okay.
but I don't know how to say it.
Oh, right. Okay.
You can say, okay, water level, this is this,
yeah.
high pressure.
And the problem with kanji
But like,
is...
can you pronounce it? Like, I can't pronounce it.
Actually, sometimes I'll guess it correct. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, Mizu, Sui, probably Sui.
Yeah.
Something, probably this. Boop, boop.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're like, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that annoys me with kanji is when, like, you see one that it's like, this isn't used anywhere except this spot.
Right.
So why are they bothering me with it? But, yeah, kanji is definitely the hardest part, which this annoys me about Japanese people. When you're reading Japanese and they go, oh, you can read kanji. You're like, yeah. And they're like, they make such a big deal about it. Like, stop it.
But then again, then once you start feeling that way, here comes this old ass foreigner. I've been here 14 years.
Okay.
I ain't reading. What's this, Taberu? I'm like, oh, man, come on, man, stop it.
Oh.
You know, when that guy comes around, you're like, well, I guess they do have a point.
And I will admit a little bit here. Sometimes foreign people who live in Japan speak so wrong that now I know why they're like, you guys really shouldn't be speaking Japanese in the classroom. No, the problem is when it crosses the line to people who are actually pretty good at speaking Japanese. I don't know why we're not allowed to explain something like we were talking about in the previous one, like ude, arm, like it's easy to explain, just say the one word. But I do understand when they're like, we don't want this dumbass just blah, 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 in front of everybody, embarrassing us. So, okay.
So that would be my hiragana, katakana.
2 weeks.
That 3-month program, it pays off, man. Trust me.
Is this a free?
Yeah, go on Nihon Shark
and
look up their kanji program. Commit to it
for 3 months,
and you'll be very happy. So this is the hard part, though.
Okay.
You have to do all. So this is what, like 4 months work already?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want you talking at all.
Oh, really?
And that's what the schools do. They're like, all right, you gotta say this, Like, just get this shit down first, man, and then you can start.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually does make sense because for the longest time I couldn't speak or hear Japanese for shit.
Right.
But I could read really good.
Right.
And then after years of reading, and then it was just like clicked.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I know these words, bleh, and they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Or you'll end up in a situation where I was like, okay. Ginko doko desu ka? Ginko doko desu ka? Okay, I know. Where's the bank? You go to a person. You know what I'm saying? Ginko doko desu ka? Oh, you know Japanese. I'm like, oh shit. I shouldn't even fucking said anything.
Yeah.
If you
that does embarrass me where I'm like, but this isn't our fault. We have no opportunities to hear responses. So if you practice Ginko wa doko desu ka, you don't know how someone would respond to that.
Right.
So I don't know. It's that's the toughest part.
I'm more blaming because on normal textbooks, like, where's the bank? It's to the left.
Oh yeah.
If it's to the left, you don't need to ask where the bank is.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like so. It's like you gotta get all that information, and then last, just go straight into short stories and manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would never. No textbook necessary.
Yeah. I don't know. Would you recommend even taking a course at high school or college? It kind of does help to get that every week from a teacher, though. Although it will be very slow.
Fuck them. You guys got it. You guys got it. You can do it. Don't be lazy.
Another problem is learning in America, where you're like, there's Spanish-speaking people in America, but how many Japanese are running around?
Where they at?
Some colleges, but they want to speak English.
Or if there's a company, it's always like in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of like in the Midwest. Did you have any companies in your area?
Yeah, not Tokyo. Honda, the cars? No, Toyota.
Which, like, is that like if a Japanese person is like, oh, you get to go to America in this place? Is that the equivalent of like, oh, you get to teach in Japan? You know, the first year. It's like, okay, well, we're going to put you in the countryside.
That
like,
was me.
Like in the middle of nowhere. It's like, but come on, Tokyo. Like,
yeah,
you're going to be in the countryside.
Yeah, and a lot of those people are coming from Osaka, so they're like huge step down in quality of life. But yeah. Oh, but another
that skyline chili, man, spaghetti and chili.
You always talk about
that skyline.
Another thing that helped me out was.
I just remember, if you ain't gonna get a gun, cause you a bitch. What do you mean?
Oh!
That just popped in my head for some reason.
Oh, the AMS thing.
But you ain't gonna get a gun,
cause you a bitch. AMS 2021.
But you ain't gonna go get a gun, cause you a bitch.
That was a weird. I had to stop watching that episode. I was like, this is getting weird.
Alright, what were you saying?
Sorry. So many tangents in this one.
Oh, that's how our brains work, man. Y'all gotta keep up with us. If you made it this far, they used to it.
Yeah, episode 51, I guess.
Yeah.
One thing that helped me out was in Kansagata and after I went back home having a Japanese girlfriend. And they always wanted to speak English, which was good in Japan because sometimes you do get overwhelmed.
Yeah, you get your brain hurt.
But in America, I was like, I ain't having none of this English shit. I'm learning Japanese from you.
We American, damn bitch. You ain't got your family here.
You're getting this nice dick. I'm getting this nice language exchange. That's how it's going down.
That's our deal.
Start shaking it. That you know the deal. But yeah, that's the only reason I really kept, other than my self-study, but that was the main reason that my Japanese got so much. It was weird. My Japanese got really good after leaving Japan. Just because I forced myself, you know.
That's kind of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Osmosis does not exist, people. Sorry.
Which is the Japanese.
I can just go there and learn.
Nah.
You're going to have to put work
Japanese. Kaedu. What did I just say in English?
Maybe go home?
Nope.
No, yeah. Maybe pay up? I don't know. Maybe change?
Nope.
He's kind of weird? Nope. Something? So, yeah, I don't
Frog.
know. Oh, well, there you go.
See, that's my problem with Japanese, where it's like, oh, you can just hear it and say it. No. Or you can just read the hiragana.
No.
And that's another problem I have with some foreigners who, when they say, like, they make a big deal about they can't read, and they're like, I can't read all this kanji, and it's like, so you can't read Japanese. Like, I do get annoyed when people complain like that.
Hey, but the better you get at kanji, the better you get at Japanese, the better you're like, I really want to learn some more kanji. This will make things way easier.
Yeah. Which is like, a good way to do that, once again, is just reading, or what helps me is on the train, I'll see like an advertisement, I'll be like, all right, Google Translate. Ah, okay.
Now, I'm probably on the opposite of everyone on this one. I wish I learned grammar just from reading. Like, I wish I'd never learned the grammar the book way. Now, I mean, you might be opposite, but like,
you mean
this is why, because when someone's like, all right, here's the causative and the passive, and this said you say ta or rareru.
Yeah.
But I can see where they were going with it, but I would rather just see a sentence say, oh, they put ta, so that means it's in the past, moving on.
Right.
I wish I didn't learn the book grammar style.
Yeah, you know
what's
what?
your opinion?
That makes sense, and that's only because, well, once again, the book only gives you 1 to 3 examples. But life isn't 1 to 3 examples. You need it for every circumstance if you're going to want to understand it.
Right.
So that's where reading is much better. Where something that I would pick up on is I would go, I don't know what this conjugation means. And then you see it over and over again, you're like, okay, you can piece it together maybe. Or you can ask someone, Japanese or a foreigner or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, the textbook, yeah, I wouldn't. And those stories are so stupid. Mary-san, Makudo de tabemasu.
Takashi was like, damn, I almost got that ass, man. I'm trying to get them American nipple, man. Them pink nipples, man. Damn. I'm trying to get that blonde muff. Damn.
Yeah, she was blonde, wasn't she?
Sorry, Takashi. Bitch, come on, girl. You think I invited you out here by myself? Did they ever admit that he was trying to hit it in the book or nah?
Well, they went on a date to Haagen-Dazs.
Oh, he's a Haagen-Dazs. What happened there?
Let's see. How long? Okay, look, can we talk about
7 inches, maybe?
For you, or Takeshi?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, well, I guess we could go over. We talked about this so much off the air. The different levels of Japanese. Level 0 is I don't know anything. Level 2 is hiragana, katakana. I can kind of write and read it.
Okay.
The next level would be like, I said a correct sentence, and I feel good about myself.
Man, that beginning, man, that first year is stunning,
that hump,
man.
You get
that was so fun. Now I'm talking about like when you first pick up that first book, you just start saying those simple sentences. You're like, yeah, man, this is good.
Ima nanji desu ka? Ima niji desu ne.
Oh, damn, I got this.
Isn't it? And you're like, yeah. And everyone's like, oh, good job.
Oh.
They're clapping for you in the classroom. The teacher's like, this isn't that impressive.
Then one day you just realize you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you think back here like, I didn't know shit. The next level I would say would probably just be understanding what we talked about, stuff on your own, understanding books. And then the next level would be holding basic conversations where you can still feel good about yourself at a bar. What's your hobby? I like baseball. Oh, I don't. You're like, well, that was something.
Well, why? Oh, come, buddy. Come on, we ain't why. I can't. Shit.
Yeah. And then there's a big gap to being business Japanese and being able to get a real job. So.
It looks so scary here. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Like pure murder is up in there.
Pure murder.
What were they calling him? Tanaka, was it? Taka? Shit, what's that name?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, Yui Zo.
Yuikawa?
Yui Zo. Yui Zo!
Oh, wait, yeah,
Yui Zo!
Yeah, because it's like the 3, so you'd think San, but it's not San, it's... What was it?
It says... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, Yui Zo. Yui Zoku.
When is 3 called Zo? Okay, we're back to Gantz.
Japanese names, man.
Okay, can you talk about that for a little bit?
I think we did. They like black people with their name shit, man. Like Swaquisha?
How do you spell that?
Yeah.
LQ
Apostrophe S over the D. Jesus. And they get mad at you that you don't know that, but it's like this kanji's used.
But here's another thing: Japanese people can't read any of those.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like
even teachers have furigana.
Yeah.
If it's the one time you'll see a Japanese person using furigana,
yeah,
it's
for names.
Names.
Because the manager will even joke with us about that. She's like, "Yeah, we had a student. I had to keep asking them how to write their name, because the kanji will have different pronunciations.
Yeah.
Same kanji, and the same name could have different kanji. Like my name's Natsuki. Well, which Natsuki? There's like 400 ways to write.
Or like a normal word kanji can have like one kanji can have like 4 different ways to say it.
Mm.
And then sometimes they won't even put that name way in there. It's like, oh, well, you can use it for this. I'm like, what? Why are y'all just make up dumb rules now? Like, who told you this? Where'd you find this out from?
I don't know. So they had like a word, and they're like, just grab that one. Use that. Just take it. Put it in there. Okay, before we go, is there a manga that you think's probably the easier ones to read? I know, she's got big-ass titties. Actually, Gantz is probably good for beginner level.
Hey,
There's no furigana, but you can look it up on Google Translate.
Yeah, I don't know. I never read Doraemon, but I guess maybe.
Ugh, why would you want to?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
Um,
simple for the kids. It's easy. You're starting off your first sentences, man.
Naruto's not so bad. Dragon Ball was not so hard. Except for some things where Dragon Ball's like, Mukashi, boobity boo boo. I'm like, I'm just going to skip these. Just get to where he's like, ora. That's another difficult part of Japanese. There's 20 billion ways to say I. There's watashi. That's normal.
This guy.
I was wondering the same thing. There's, okay.
Oh, this black guy.
There's watashi, which is normal.
I don't want to ruin the story for you, so just keep.
Okay.
All right.
There's boku, which is
You're
for...
so far away from it, though.
Oh, can we just finish this first? Okay, but we'll end on the eyes. So there's watashi, which is normal. There's washi, which is for old men, which washi also means eagle. So I'm like, eagle? Well, there's no eagles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's just old men speak. Then there's boku, which is for gays / work.
Watashi kushi.
Oh yeah, watakushi, which is keigo, which you never even hear that, so it's like, get rid of it. There's ore, which is for men, I guess. There's atashi, which is for girls who want to sound cute.
I've been seeing here that old people also say oru.
Oru, I think, is the same as iru.
Oh, that too. But some bitch was using it to describe herself as well.
Really?
Man.
There's uchi, which means house.
Ooh.
So I don't know why they say uchi too. Then there's this was for Rurouni Kenshin, sessha, which is like samurai, how to say I. There's Goku, who says ora instead of ore. And then you can also just say your name. Like you can say Yuki wa, and you're like, you just saying your name? Or, this is the kicker, Japanese people don't even say I half the time. They just start off the sentence in the middle.
Don't even need it.
So you don't even need it. Alright. Next is you. There's Anata.
Omae!
There's Omae, which I really like. There's Omei, which is like Yankee way to say Omae. There's Kimi, which is for your girlfriend. Kimi Kantaisi. There's...
Do we say anta?
Anta. Yeah. There's Kisama. I almost knocked over the computer. I got excited because I love that word.
Kisama.
Teme, that one's pretty good. There's also Teme with a little N. Teme.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's if you get really happy. And I don't know. There's probably more that I don't know. That's the thing about Japanese. You're always learning a new word. You're like, why didn't I know this before? Okay.
We're pretty in there. We good?
All right. Let us know if you have any Japanese questions. You write in the comments.
Peace, yo.
Sayonara.